keep replaying the moment they walked away, trying to trace where it went wrong. But the truth is, it wasn't you. They didn't move on because you lacked something. They moved on because they couldn't face what was missing in themselves. Their emptiness isn't your responsibility to fill. So let them go. This isn't your failure. It's their escape. And you're free now. Free to stop waiting, stop wondering, and start healing. Chapter 1. Stop blaming yourself for their escape. When they leave without warning, your mind screams for answers. The first place it turns is inward. What did I do wrong? Was I not enough? Did I say something wrong? Did I look wrong? Your heart, raw and open, scrambles to piece together a puzzle that isn't meant for you to solve. This is the trap, the endless loop of self-blame that drowns your clarity. Hear me now. Their sudden exit reveals more about their own fears than about your value. Their leaving is not an indictment of your worth. It never was. You have to stop hunting for faults inside yourself like a detective desperate for clues. It's a dead-end street. When someone flees, it's because they can't face their own pain. They choose escape over growth, running from discomfort instead of sitting with it. Their flight is a cowardice wrapped in your heartbreak. It's painful, yes. It's confusing, yes. But it is not your failure. It is their refusal to confront what's hard. You will never find peace by carrying the weight of their escape on your shoulders. Imagine someone running through a storm, not because the storm is too fierce, but because they are afraid to stand still and feel the rain. They bolt, they disappear, they vanish. All because inside, they fear the pain more than the unknown. Their leaving says, I am not brave enough. Not, you are broken. Their absence is a sign of their own fragility, not a reflection of your incompleteness. You have to shift your focus. Stop dissecting your flaws under a microscope. Stop replaying every conversation, every text, every glance like a broken record. This isn't about you anymore. This isn't about what you lacked or how you failed. It's about their inability to stay when things got real. It's about their decision to run instead of fight for what mattered. And that decision, it's theirs to own, not yours. You don't need to fix yourself for someone who chose to leave. You don't need to shrink or apologize for wanting love, for wanting respect, for wanting someone to stay when they said they would. That's not your fault. That's not your problem. It's their problem. Their failure to stay is not a reflection of your value. It is a reflection of their fear. Start building your boundaries like a fortress. Strong, clear, unyielding. Boundaries are not walls to keep people out. They are the lines you draw to protect your heart from being trampled on. When someone runs, it's often because they never respected those lines. They never wanted to meet you where you stood. So stop lowering your walls in hopes they'll come back. Stop bending over backwards to make yourself smaller. You are not the cause of their failure to stay. You are the reason to stay. For someone brave enough to face the storm with you, you have to let go of the idea that if only you were different, they would have stayed. That's a lie you tell yourself to make sense of senselessness. Sometimes people leave because they are not ready, not because you are not enough. Sometimes they run because they fear intimacy, not because you are unlovable. You don't need their apology to heal. You don't need their explanations or their return. You need to stop waiting for closure from someone who has already shown you who they are. This is your time to reclaim your story. Stop blaming yourself for their escape. Their leaving is a reflection of their own inability to face pain, not your inadequacy. You are not responsible for their failures. You are not the void they refuse to fill. This isn't about you anymore. It's about your healing, your growth, your boundaries. You are allowed to be angry at their running. You are allowed to be sad about their absence. But you are not allowed to carry the burden of their cowardice. That weight is too heavy for any heart to bear. Let it go. You don't have to carry their fear. You don't have to carry their shame. You only have to carry yourself, strong, whole, and ready to love again on your own terms. Start telling yourself the truth over and over. I am not the cause of their leaving. Their escape says more about their fear than my worth. I am worthy of love that stays. I am worthy of someone who faces the storm with me. I am worthy of respect, care, and courage. Repeat this to yourself until it sinks into your bones, until it drowns out the voice of self-blame that screams in the dark. Stop dissecting your flaws. Stop trying to fix yourself to fit into the shadow they left behind. You are not a puzzle to be solved for someone else's happiness. You are whole exactly as you are. Your worth is not contingent on their presence. Their failure to stay is a story about their fear, not your failure. Build your boundaries. Protect your heart. Say no to those who run. Say yes to yourself. This is your revolution. This is your reclaiming. This is the moment you stop waiting for someone else to make sense of their own chaos. This is the moment you make sense of your own strength. You have to let go. Stop waiting for closure. They already showed you who they are. Believe it and move on. This isn't about them anymore. It's about you, your peace, your future, your freedom. And as you learn this, as you practice this hard truth, you get ready for the next step in your healing journey. You are not the void they refused to fill. You are the light waiting to be seen by someone brave enough to stay. Chapter 2. You are not the void they refused to fill. You might find yourself replaying their absence, wondering if you were ever enough. If maybe, just maybe, you were supposed to complete them. It's a haunting thought. You think, if only I had been more, done more, loved more than maybe, they wouldn't have left. But here's the hard truth. No one can fill a void they refuse to confront. Their emptiness wasn't yours to carry. It's not your fault they ran from the shadows inside themselves. You were never meant to be their patch or their rescue mission. It's tempting to believe otherwise. We want so badly to fix the broken parts we love. We want to be the balm that soothes the ache they hide. But love doesn't work that way. Real love doesn't ask one person to carry the weight of two. It doesn't rely on filling holes of loneliness or fear. Real love means two whole people choosing each other, not two halves trying to become one. When you accept this, you start to see the truth behind the pain. You were never their fix. You were never the missing piece they needed. You were just Yao-whole, imperfect enough. Stop thinking you were supposed to make them better. Stop carrying their emptiness as your burden. That's not your job. You can't heal someone else's wounds by trying to cover them with your own love. When they refuse to face their own darkness, no amount of light you shine will reach them. You have to let go of the idea that your love alone could save them. It's not your job to fill a void they won't even admit exists. This is where the real healing begins. When you stop holding on to their emptiness, you free yourself. You stop dragging around the weight of their unresolved pain. You stop trying to fix what they don't want fixed. You reclaim your own heart, your own life, your own peace. You stop being the answer to a question they refuse to ask. Instead, you become the question you ask yourself. How do I love myself enough to walk away from what doesn't serve me? You don't need their apology to heal. You don't need their explanation or their promise to change. They already showed you who they are. Their refusal to face their own void was their choice, not yours. You can't rewrite their story. You can only write your own. And your story deserves more than being a footnote in someone else's unfinished business. It's okay to feel angry. It's okay to feel hurt. But don't let those feelings keep you tied to their emptiness. You don't have to fill the space they left behind with their silence or their absence. You can fill it with your own voice, your own presence, your own healing. Start by recognizing that your worth isn't measured by how much you can fix or complete someone else. Your worth is inherent, independent of their struggle or their failure to love themselves. When you start to see yourself as whole, not as a patch for someone else's brokenness, you begin to heal. You start to build boundaries that protect your heart instead of exposing it to more damage. You learn to say no to carrying burdens that aren't yours. You stop waiting for them to change or come back. You stop waiting for closure they will never give. You stop hoping that they will someday see you as the person who saved them, because that's not the story you deserve. You deserve a love where both people show up fully whole, willing, and present. Not a love where you are the filler for their fear or loneliness. You deserve someone who chooses you because they want to, not because they need to. Someone who faces their own void and invites you in, instead of running away from it and leaving you behind. You have to let go. You have to stop waiting for something that's never coming. You have to stop blaming yourself for their escape. This isn't about them anymore. It's about you. It's about reclaiming your heart and your life. It's about learning that your love is not a service or a job. It's a gift meant to be shared with someone who is ready to receive it fully. So what do you do now? Start by stopping the stories that keep you stuck. Stop telling yourself you were supposed to fix them. Stop believing you were incomplete without them. Stop carrying their emptiness as if it were your own. Instead, begin to fill your days with actions that remind you of your worth. Surround yourself with people who see you as whole. Engage in things that bring you joy, not more pain. Create space for your heart to breathe. Healing doesn't mean forgetting. Healing means acknowledging the truth without letting it define you. Healing means accepting that sometimes love is not enough to save a relationship. Healing means saying to yourself, I am enough, even if they couldn't see it. I am whole, even if they were broken. I am free, even if they chose to run. Remember, you were never the void they needed to fill. You were always whole. You just had to believe it. Now, you have to live it. You have to grieve like you mean it. Don't rush the pain. This is the next step. The pain is real. The heartbreak is real. But so is your strength. So is your capacity to heal. So is your right to reclaim your life on your own terms. Grieving is not weakness. It is the bridge to your new beginning. And you will cross it, one breath at a time. Chapter 3. Grieve like you mean it. Don't rush the pain. Heartbreak is brutal. It tears you apart from the inside out. It shatters the world you thought you knew and leaves you gasping in the wreckage. There's no quick fix, no magic bandage, no fast forward button. Trying to skip the pain only buries it deeper. It doesn't disappear. It hides under the surface, festering, waiting to burst out when you least expect it. You think you're protecting yourself by pushing the hurt away, but all you're doing is setting yourself up for a harder fall later. You have to grieve like you mean it. That means allowing yourself to cry. Cry until your chest aches and your throat feels raw. Cry until the tears run out and your eyes are swollen shut. Let the sobs come. Don't hold them back. Don't apologize for it. Don't tell yourself you're too much or too weak. This is not weakness. This is the first step to real healing. Feel the pain fully. Scream if you need to. Yell at the sky, at the walls, at the empty space where they used to be. Let the rage out. Let the sadness flood over you. Feel every raw, jagged emotion without judgment. This is your heart breaking open. This is you making space for something new. Pretending you're fine doesn't make you strong. Moving on too fast doesn't erase the hurt. Real strength is found in feeling fully, not in pretending. It's okay to admit you're broken. It's okay to admit you don't have it all together. You don't have to put on a brave face for anyone. This isn't about them anymore. It's about you. You don't owe anyone your light when you're still in the dark. You have to let yourself be broken before you can be whole again. You have to go through the fire, not around it. Stop thinking you should be over it by now. Stop telling yourself you have to be strong all the time. You don't. Strength is in the cracks, in the tears, in the nights you stay awake feeling every ache. It's okay to be raw. It's okay to be vulnerable. You're allowed to crumble. That doesn't mean you're giving up. It means you're facing the truth. You're facing the pain that needs to be felt before it can heal. Don't rush the healing process. It's not a race, and there's no finish line. You can't schedule grief or put it on a timeline. It comes in waves. Some days you'll feel like you're drowning, and other days you'll catch your breath. Both are okay. Both are necessary. Don't push yourself to move on before you're ready. Don't pretend you're fine just to avoid the discomfort. That discomfort is where the healing lives. Allow yourself to sit with the silence. Let your mind wander through the memories, even the painful ones. Don't avoid them. Don't numb out with distractions or busy work. This is your story to feel, to own, to understand. You have to sit in the discomfort to make sense of it. You have to feel the emptiness to begin to fill it with something new. Stop asking, why, like there's an answer that will fix everything. There isn't. Some questions don't have answers, and some wounds don't have explanations. You have to stop waiting for closure. They already showed you who they are. You don't need their apology to heal. The closure you're craving isn't coming from them. It's something you have to create for yourself. And you can't create it if you're still running from the pain. Give yourself permission to be a mess, to feel lost and confused, to hate the world and hate yourself and hate the situation. You don't have to be perfect in your healing. You just have to be honest. Be real with yourself. Be raw with your feelings. You are not broken beyond repair. You are breaking open to something new, something stronger, something truer. Write it down if you have to. Write down the anger, the sadness, the betrayal. Write down the things you wish you could say, but can't. Writing is a way to let the pain out without holding it inside. It's a way to talk to yourself when no one else will listen. It's a way to be heard by the one person who matters most. You. Don't isolate yourself, but don't force yourself to talk before you're ready. Sometimes the best thing you can do is just be alone with your pain. Let it sit with you like an old friend. Let it teach you what you need to learn. You don't have to explain your grief to anyone. You don't have to justify your tears. You don't have to prove your pain. It's yours. Own it. Remember, healing is messy. It's not linear. You'll take 2 steps forward and 1 step back. You'll feel like you're healing, then suddenly feel like you're falling apart all over again. That's normal. That's human. That's proof that you're alive, that you're trying, that you're moving through it, even when it feels impossible. Stop being hard on yourself for the way you grieve. Stop comparing your healing to others. Everyone's pain is unique. Your timeline is yours alone. You don't have to rush, and you don't have to justify how long it takes. The only person you owe anything to is yourself. Treat yourself with the same kindness you would give a friend in your shoes. Remember the lessons you've learned so far. You are not to blame. You are not the void they refuse to fill. You have to let go. You don't need their apology to heal. Now, it's time to feel it all, to grieve like you mean it, to face the pain head-on instead of running from it. This is how you reclaim your power. This is how you begin to rebuild. If you try to skip this part, the pain will come back. It will show up in ways you don't expect. In sleepless nights, in sudden bursts of anger, in moments of crushing loneliness. The only way out is through. The only way to heal is to feel every bit of it. So let yourself feel. Let yourself fall apart. Let the tears come. Let the screams out. Let the pain have its voice. Because that is how you find your strength. That is how you honor your heart. That is how you start living again. And when you're ready, when the raw edges begin to soften, you'll see clearly that the closure you thought you needed was never theirs to give. It's a lie you tell yourself to avoid the messiness of grief. But now, you're ready to cut that illusion loose. You're ready to stop waiting for something that will never come. Because the truth is, your healing doesn't depend on their closure. You don't need their apology to heal. You don't need their explanation to move on. You need your own permission to let go, to grieve fully, to feel deeply, to be real with yourself. This isn't about them anymore. This is about you, about reclaiming your life, your heart, your future. The next step is clear. It's time to cut the illusion of closure. It's a lie you tell yourself. Only then can you truly begin to live again. Chapter 4. Cut the illusion of closure. It's a lie you tell yourself. Closure is a myth you've been sold. It sounds so clean, so tidy like the end of a book with a satisfying final chapter. But life doesn't hand out neat endings. It doesn't pause and say, here's your moment of clarity. Here's your apology. Here's the explanation you deserve. No. Sometimes it just leaves you with silence, with questions that burn your chest, with a heart that beats loud in the absence of answers. You want closure because it feels like an anchor. You want it because it promises an end to the chaos swirling inside you. But here's the brutal truth. Waiting for closure is like waiting for a train that's never coming. It traps you in their timeline, their story, not yours. You've been standing on the platform, staring down the tracks, hoping for that moment when everything makes sense. But while you wait, your own life stalls. Your own healing pauses. You become a prisoner of their decisions, their silence, their absence. Stop waiting for closure. They already showed you who they are. If they wanted to give you answers, they would have. If they cared to make amends, they would have made the effort. But they didn't. So, waiting for closure is just another way of hoping they'll come back and fix what they broke. And that hope, it's a trap. You have to let go of the illusion that closure will come from them. It won't. This isn't about them anymore. It's about you. You don't need their apology to heal. You don't need their explanation to move on. What you need is to create your own closure. To say enough is enough. To accept what is, not what should have been. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up or pretending you're okay when you're not. It means recognizing the reality of the situation without sugarcoating it. It means looking at the facts, the silence, the absence, the betrayal, and deciding, this is my life now, and I'm done waiting for someone else to make it right. This is where your power lies. You have been playing their game for too long. You've been waiting for their timeline, waiting for their permission to grieve, to heal, to move on. But you don't need that permission. You don't need their story. You need your own. And your story begins when you stop waiting for closure and start owning your truth. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to feel hurt. It's okay to cry yourself to sleep. But after you've honored those feelings, you have to make a decision. Are you going to stay stuck in the past, hoping for a neat ending that will never come? Or are you going to step into your future, messy and uncertain as it may be, without their approval or explanation? Create your own closure by setting boundaries, not physical walls, but emotional ones. Decide that their absence will not define your worth. Decide that their silence will not control your peace. Decide that you are more than the heartbreak they left behind. You don't have to send that last message. You don't have to wait by the phone or scroll through their social media hoping for a sign. Stop looking for signs. Stop looking for answers. They owe you nothing. Their actions have shown you everything you need to know. Remember, closure is not a gift they give you. Closure is something you take. It's a choice to stop chasing shadows and start stepping into the light. It's a declaration that you will not be held hostage by their absence or their silence. When you create your own closure, you reclaim your power. You stop being a victim of their choices and become the author of your own story. You write the ending that feels true to Yavin if it's messy, even if it's painful, even if it's unfinished. This isn't about pretending it didn't hurt or pretending it won't hurt again. It's about refusing to let the hurt define you. It's about telling yourself, I am more than this pain. I am more than their betrayal. I am whole even with this wound. You have to let go of the fantasy that closure will heal everything. Closure is just a step, not the destination. Healing is messy, nonlinear, and ongoing. But you cannot heal if you keep waiting for someone else to give you permission. Stop waiting for closure. They don't owe you the satisfaction of a perfect goodbye. They don't owe you the apology you crave. They don't owe you the answers that would make sense of the chaos. They already showed you who they are, loud and clear. It's time to listen. This isn't about forgetting what happened. It's about accepting it. It's about saying, this is what I lived through. This is what I survived. And I'm still here. It's about turning your back on the past that holds you hostage and stepping forward into the unknown with courage. You don't need their timeline. You don't need their closure. You need your own freedom. And that freedom comes when you stop waiting and start living. You have to let go. You have to stop waiting. You have to stop hoping for a neat ending that will never arrive. You have to create your own ending, your own peace, your own closure. Because this isn't about them anymore. It's about you. It's about your life, your heart, your healing. It's about reclaiming your power from the wreckage they left behind. And when you do that, you will find a strength you didn't know you had. A strength that comes from owning your story, your pain, your truth. That strength will carry you through the darkest nights, through the endless questions, through the loneliness. You don't need closure to heal. You need acceptance. You need courage. You need to decide that your worth is not tied to their actions or their absence. You need to stop waiting for them and start showing up for yourself, because that's where the real healing begins. Chapter 5. Stop waiting for them. Start showing up for you. Waiting for their call or message is a trap. You think you're holding on to hope, but really, you're holding yourself hostage. It keeps you frozen, stuck in a limbo where time drags and pain deepens. Every ping on your phone becomes a spark of desperation. Every silence, a fresh wound. Waiting doesn't heal you. It doesn't bring clarity or peace. It only prolongs the ache. You have to stop waiting. You have to stop clinging to the idea that they'll come back and fix what's broken. Because they won't. They already showed you who they are. Here's the truth. Hope tied to someone who left you overnight is a lie you're telling yourself to avoid facing the raw emptiness inside. It's easier to wait for them than to confront the fact that they chose to replace you. But that waiting, it's like standing still in quicksand. The more you struggle, the deeper you sink. You need to pull yourself out. You have to let go. Instead of waiting for their validation, turn that energy inward. This is not a time to shrink. This is a time to grow. Invest in yourself. Pour into your passions, your friendships, and your self-growth. When they left, they didn't just take their presence with them, they tried to take your sense of worth. Don't let them. Show up for yourself like your life depends on it. Because it does. Passion is a powerful antidote to heartbreak. It pulls you out of the endless loop of replaying their absence. What did they say? What did they mean? What if? Instead of spinning your wheels in a mental trap, focus on what lights you up. Maybe it's painting, running, writing, cooking, or learning something new. Whatever it is, grab hold of it with both hands. Let it consume you. Let it remind you that you are more than the space they abandoned. Friendships are your lifeline now. When you feel like you're drowning in loneliness, reach out. Not to them, to your people. Real friends don't replace heartbreak with silence. They fill the void with love, laughter, and presence. They remind you that you are not alone, that you are seen and valued for exactly who you are, not for who someone else wanted you to be. If your circle isn't there yet, seek new connections. Join groups, go to events, or even start small with online communities. Your tribe exists. You just have to find them. Self-growth is the hardest, but most important investment you can make right now. It means looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, I'm enough. I am worthy. I am deserving of love. It means setting boundaries, learning from this pain, and building a life that doesn't depend on someone else's approval. Growth is messy and slow, but it's yours. It's a rebellion against the heartbreak that tried to define you. You don't need their validation to prove your worth. Their leaving was not a reflection of your value. It was a reflection of their inability to stay. You have to show up for yourself with fierce determination. When you wake up tomorrow, look yourself in the eye and commit to your healing. This isn't about them anymore. This is about you, your happiness, your future, your peace. Show up for yourself like your life depends on it, because it does. When the nights feel long and the silence is deafening, remind yourself, you are not waiting for a call that will never come. You are creating a life that no one can take away. You are more than their replacement. You are the author of your own story. Stop waiting for their apology. Stop hoping for closure that was never promised. You don't need it. You have everything you need inside you to heal. This is your moment to reclaim your power, to choose yourself every single day, to say no to the pain of waiting and yes to the freedom of showing up. You might feel weak right now, empty, lost. That's okay. Healing isn't about being strong all the time. It's about showing up anyway, even when you don't want to, even when your heart screams at you to give up. You show up for yourself because you deserve better, because you owe it to your future self to build a life free from the chains of waiting. Remember, this isn't about them anymore. This is about you. You don't need someone else's permission to move on. You don't need their recognition to heal. You need your own commitment, your own love, your own presence. Every moment you spend waiting is a moment stolen from your healing. Every second you waste hoping is a second you could use to rebuild. You have to stop waiting for them. It's time to start showing up for you. And when you do, you'll find something powerful waiting on the other side. Freedom from the pain of being replaced. Freedom from the illusion that your worth depends on someone else. Freedom to become who you were always meant to be. This is the hard truth you need to hear. They replaced you overnight, but you don't have to replace yourself with pain. You can replace that story with your own. One of resilience. One of self-respect. One of unstoppable growth. So stand up. Take a deep breath. Turn your gaze inward. Invest in your passions. Lean on your friends. Commit to your growth. Show up for yourself like your life depends on it, because it does. You are not broken. You are not less than. You are more than enough. And the moment you stop waiting for them is the moment you start living for you. This is just the beginning. The journey ahead is yours to claim. And when you're ready, we'll move forward together. Next, we'll explore how to recognize their replacement as your liberation. Because sometimes, what feels like an ending is actually your new beginning. Chapter 6. Recognize their replacement as your liberation. Seeing them move on fast hits like a slap in the face. You watch from the sidelines as they slide into someone else's arms. Laugh at jokes you once shared. Build new memories you're not part of. It feels like a betrayal all over again. You want to scream, "How can they be over me already?" But here's the truth you need to hear. Their replacement isn't your enemy. It's your permission slip. The universe is giving you a green light to move forward. Not tomorrow, not someday, but now. You have to stop thinking their quick rebound means you're broken or unworthy. It doesn't. You already learned they ran. They showed you who they are. And the fact that they've replaced you so fast means they were never meant to be your forever. When someone leaves and fills your space immediately, it's proof of what you felt but were afraid to admit this was never your forever story. It wasn't a love that was built to last. It was a chapter that ended abruptly. And it's time to close the book without waiting for their final words. You might feel small, like you're losing something precious. But what you're really losing is the weight of someone who didn't want to stay. That weight has been dragging you down, keeping you stuck in a place where hope and pain dance toad through a cruel, endless waltz. Their replacement is not a threat. It's a sign that the story you believed in was a story written on sand. It's a sign that you are free. Free from someone who ran. Free from someone who didn't fight for you. Free from someone who already chose someone else. And that choice has nothing to do with your value. So celebrate. Yes, celebrate the fact that you're free. Freedom is a gift wrapped in pain and tears, but it's still a gift. You're free to heal on your own terms, no unchained and unapologetic. Let go of the idea that you need their approval to heal. You don't need their apology. You don't need their explanation. You don't need their permission. Your healing journey starts now, and it belongs to you and no one else. Stop waiting for closure. You've been told closure is this magical thing that will make everything okay. It isn't. Closure is a lie you tell yourself to hold on a little longer. Real healing doesn't come from their words or actions. It comes from you choosing to move on without them. It comes from accepting that you might never get the answers you want. It comes from understanding that some people leave because they're not supposed to stay. You can't control what they do next. You can't control who they replace you with, but you can control how you respond. You can control whether you let their actions define your worth. You can control whether you stay stuck in the past or step into your future. And right now, you have to choose freedom. You have to choose you. Your mind will try to trap you in a loop of questions. Why did they replace me so quickly? Was I not enough? What did I miss? These questions are poison. They keep you chained to a past that is already gone. Instead, replace those questions with this. What can I learn from this? How can I use this pain to grow stronger? How can I be kinder to myself today? You have to let go of the need to understand their choices and focus on your own healing. Start by setting boundaries for your thoughts. When you catch yourself obsessing over their new life, stop. Redirect your mind to something that nourishes you. Read a book, go for a walk, write down your feelings. Every time you push those painful thoughts away, you reclaim a little more of your power. It's not easy, it's messy, but it's necessary. Surround yourself with people who see your value. When someone replaced you overnight, it doesn't mean you're replaceable. It means you had someone replaceable. Find people who remind you that you are whole, even when your heart feels shattered. Let their love and support fill the cracks left by the one who left. Remember, your worth isn't tied to their presence or absence. Your worth isn't measured by how long someone stays or how quickly they move on. Your worth is inherent. It's unshakable. Even if it feels like the ground beneath you is crumbling, your worth remains. This isn't about them anymore. It's about you. It's about reclaiming your life and your happiness. It's about choosing to live fully, even when your heart is bruised. It's about building a future where you're not defined by who left or who replaced you, but by the strength you found in yourself. Celebrate that you're no longer waiting for someone who's already moved on. Celebrate that you're done hoping for a chance that was never yours to keep. Celebrate the fact that you have the power to write the rest of your story without them. Healing doesn't mean forgetting. It doesn't mean pretending it didn't hurt. Healing means feeling every raw, painful emotion and still choosing to move forward. It means crying when you need to and standing tall when you're ready. It means forgiving yourself for holding on too long and thanking yourself for finally letting go. You're not behind in this process. You're exactly where you need to be. Pain is not a setback. It's a sign that you're human and that you loved deeply. But now, it's time to turn that pain into your liberation. Look at their replacement and see what it truly is. Not an enemy, not a threat, but a mirror reflecting the truth you've been avoiding. They never belonged in your forever story, and that knowledge is your key to freedom. You have to let go. Stop waiting for closure. They already showed you who they are. This isn't about them anymore. It's about you. You don't need their apology to heal. Your healing journey is yours alone. It starts with accepting that the past is over and that your future is waiting. Unchained, unapologetic, whole. Now it's time to ditch the what-ifs and own your reality. Chapter 7. Ditch the what-ifs and own your reality. You're caught in the endless loop again. The what-ifs flood your mind like a relentless storm. What if I had said something different? What if I had stayed silent? What if I could turn back time and fix the cracks I didn't see? What if is a trap. It's a prison built by your own thoughts, and it steals your peace piece by piece. You're revisiting a past that no longer exists, chasing shadows that will never turn into light. It's exhausting. You don't just lose sleep over these questions, you lose your grip on the present moment, on the reality that's right in front of you. Listen closely. What if is not your friend. It whispers lies that keep you stuck, spinning in fantasy and regret. It makes you believe that if only things had been different, you'd be whole again. But here's the brutal truth: you wouldn't. Because what happened, happened. The facts are what they are, and no amount of wishing can change that. It's painful, yes. It's raw and ugly. but focusing on what is true, what actually happened, is the only way out of this maze. You have to stop lying to yourself with hypothetical scenarios. The more you dwell on what if, the more you deny the reality that's trying to settle inside you. This isn't about blaming yourself or them anymore. You've already done that. This is about facing the brutal facts, no matter how much they hurt. They left. They replaced you. Those actions define the reality you're in, not the dreams you once dreamed together. Owning your story means looking it square in the eye. Not just the parts where you shine, but the messy, imperfect pieces too. The flaws, the mistakes, the heartbreak that feels like a wound that won't close. It means accepting that you are not enough for someone who decided to walk away. That you loved fiercely and were still left standing alone. You don't have to like it, but you have to face it. Because only when you own every bit of your story can you start making peace with it. Making peace with the past is not forgetting it or pretending it didn't hurt. It's acknowledging that it did, that it was real, and then deciding you won't let it hold you hostage anymore. You have to let go of the fantasy of a different ending. Stop waiting for closure that will never come. They already showed you who they are. Their actions speak louder than any apology or explanation you're waiting for. You don't need their apology to heal. This isn't about them anymore. It's about you. When you own your story fully, you clear space inside yourself. Space for healing. Space for growth. Space for a future where you are whole on your own. Because right now, you're carrying around a story that's half told, half understood, and it's weighing you down. The weight of what if is a heavy burden. It keeps you chained to a past that won't change. But your future is waiting, just beyond the fog of regret. So what do? First, stop asking what if. Stop running those endless mental reruns. When your mind drifts therein, will you catch yourself? You say, no, I'm done with this. You pull yourself back to the facts. Remind yourself what really happened, not what you wish had happened. Write it down if you have to. Get it out of your head and onto paper. Seeing the truth in black and white can be a brutal but necessary act of clarity. Next, practice radical acceptance. This is not resignation or giving up. It's the courageous act of saying, this happened. It hurt. It's part of my story. Acceptance is the soil where healing grows. Without it, you're planting seeds in rocky ground. You can't grow until you accept the broken pieces of your past. Then start reclaiming your narrative. You are not defined by their absence or their replacement. You are defined by how you rise from this, how you choose to rewrite the meaning of your story. It's okay to grieve, to feel angry, to be lost. But don't let those feelings become your permanent identity. You are more than this heartbreak. You are more than the love that was taken from you. Take concrete steps to own your story. Journal your feelings. Speak your truth out loud, even if it's messy and raw. Surround yourself with people who see you, who remind you of your worth when you forget. Create new rituals that honor your healing morning walks, meditative breathing, creative outlets. These small acts build a foundation for reclaiming your reality. Remember, healing is not linear. Some days the what-ifs will sneak back in. That's normal. What matters is how you respond. Each time you choose truth over fantasy, you strengthen your resolve. Each time you own your story, you reclaim a piece of your power. You've already learned that blaming yourself is a dead end. You've seen that waiting for closure is a trap. Now, it's time to stop waiting for a different story and start owning the one you have. This isn't about erasing the past, it's about making peace with it so you can move forward without dragging all that pain behind you. The truth is you can't rewrite the past, but you can write your future. The only way to do that is by stepping out of the what-if shadow and into the light of what is. Look at your story with clear eyes. See it for all its scars and beauty. Own it, because when you do, you don't just survive heartbreak, you start building a new life on the other side of it. This is the turning point. The moment when you stop being a victim of your thoughts and start becoming the author of your own healing. You don't have to carry the pain forever. You don't have to wait for someone else to give you permission to move on. You already have everything you need. The next step in this journey is about rebuilding who you are outside of that relationship. You're going to learn how to reclaim your identity, your passions, your voice. Because the only way through this heartbreak is to find yourself again, beyond the person they replaced you with. Hold on to this truth as you move forward. You have to let go of the what-ifs to own your reality. This is your story. Own it fully, fiercely, and without apology. That is how you make peace with the past and clear space for a future that belongs to you. Chapter 8. Rebuild your identity beyond the relationship. When love ends, you feel like you're unraveling. It's as if the person who once defined your days and nights disappears, and suddenly you don't know who you are anymore. That's the thing about losing loveds, not just about missing them. It's about forgetting that you were whole before you ever gave them a piece of yourself. That's the brutal truth you need to hear. You are a complete person on your own. Not half, not broken, whole. You might be caught in the trap of thinking your identity was tied to that relationship. It's easy to forget who you are when you pour yourself into someone else's world. You let your interests fade, your dreams get shelved, your values blur into what you thought they wanted. But that was never your real life. That was a borrowed version of yourself. Now, that borrowed life has been stripped away, and you're left standing in the wreckage. This is your call to reclaim what's yours. Your interests, your passions, your dreams, these are not dependent on anyone else. They are the markers of your true self. Yes, you loved someone. Yes, you gave them parts of your world. But those parts were never theirs to keep. They belong to you. Reconnect with them. Find your way back to what lights your fire, what gets you out of bed, what makes you feel alive without anyone else in the picture. It's terrifying to look in the mirror and feel like a stranger staring back. But that stranger is you, and you deserve to meet them again. This is not about pretending the pain doesn't exist. It's about learning to stand tall through it. Your identity is your fortress. It's the foundation that no heartbreak can shake. When you build it strong, no one can replace you because you are unshakable. Start small. What did you love before you loved them? Maybe it was reading, painting, running, or losing yourself in music. Maybe it was a dream you whispered to yourself in the dark, driveling, writing, creating something that only you could bring into the world. Reignite those sparks. The world hasn't stopped spinning because they walked away. Your life hasn't stopped being valuable. You have to stop waiting for them to fill the space they left behind. You are the only one who can fill it. Not with someone new, not with distractions, but with yourself. This isn't about rushing into the next relationship or numbing the pain with anything that dulls your senses. This is about showing up for you completely, fiercely, unapologetically. Remember what you learned in the earlier chapters. You are not the void they refuse to fill. You don't need their apology to heal. You don't need closure from them, because closure is a lie you tell yourself to feel safer. The truth is, you close your own chapter when you decide to stop waiting for them and start living for you. This is hard work. It's raw and it hurts, but it's necessary. Because every time you reconnect with a piece of yourself that you lost in the relationship, you're reclaiming your power. Every time you remind yourself that your worth is not tied to their presence or absence, you strengthen your fortress. Every time you choose your dreams over their ghosts, you build a life that no one can take away. You might feel lost. That's okay. Feeling lost means you're in the process of finding yourself again. It's the wilderness you have to walk through before you see the light of who you truly are. And you will see it. You have to let yourself feel lost without letting yourself stay lost. You might catch yourself slipping into old pattern checking their social media, replaying conversations, asking yourself what went wrong. Stop that. It's a dead end. It doesn't bring you closer to healing. It drags you deeper into pain. Instead, redirect your energy. Write down what you want your life to look like without them. Dream of a future that's yours alone. Imagine the person you want to be who is whole, happy, and free. Your values are your compass here. What matters to you beyond the relationship? Honesty, kindness, adventure, growth, creativity, whatever lights you up. Hold on to that. Let your values guide your choices. When you feel tempted to fall back into old habits that keep you stuck, remind yourself who you are becoming. A person who is unbreakable because they know themselves. You're not rebuilding for anyone else. This isn't about proving something to them or showing the world you're okay. It's about healing the part of you that forgot how to stand alone. It's about creating a life so full of your own love and purpose that no one else's absence can hollow you out. You have to be patient with yourself. This isn't a quick fix. It's a daily practice. Some days, you'll feel like you're moving forward. Other days, it'll feel like 2 steps back. That's normal. Healing isn't linear. But every day you choose to reconnect with your true self, you plant a seed that will grow into your strength. Your identity is your fortress. Build it brick by brick. Surround it with your passions, your values, your dreams. Guard it fiercely. No one who walks away can tear it down if you keep building it strong. This is your most important work, because when you are whole, no one can replace you overnight. You are more than the love you lost. You are more than the pain you carry. You are a person with a past, a present, and a future that belongs to you alone. Don't let grief steal your sense of self. Let it remind you to come home to yourself. This isn't about forgetting what happened or pretending it didn't hurt. It's about choosing to live beyond it, to find joy in your own company, to dream new dreams that don't require anyone else's permission or presence, to trust yourself again. You've already learned that they showed you who they are. You saw the truth when they replaced you overnight. Now, it's time to show up for you, to be the person who doesn't need anyone else to feel complete. You don't just survive heartbreak, you grow from it. You don't just pick up the pieces, you create a new mosaic, stronger and more beautiful than before. That's the power of rebuilding your identity beyond the relationship. Hold on to that. Let it be the foundation for what comes next. Because the next step in your journey is learning to trust yourself, to love again in your terms. Chapter 9. Trust yourself to love again on your terms. Heartbreak isn't just about losing someone. It's about learning what you will never accept again. When they replace you overnight, it's a brutal lesson in boundaries. Painful, yes, but necessary. You see, heartbreak sharpens your self-respect. It teaches you the hard truth. You don't settle for crumbs or half-hearted love. Not anymore. You don't need to convince yourself that being enough means bending over backward for someone who doesn't see your worth. That ends now. You have to trust yourself to love again. but not on their terms. Not on the terms of desperation or loneliness, or the need to fill the emptiness they left behind. You deserve better. You deserve someone who chooses you fully. Someone who fears losing you. Not someone who fits you in when it's convenient. Someone who makes you the priority. Don't rush to patch the holes in your heart with the first offer of affection. That's how you get hurt again. You have to wait. Wait until the person who comes into your life recognizes your growth, values your soul, and wants to build with you, not break you down. It's tempting to dive headfirst into love after loss. Your heart screams for connection, for validation, for the feeling that you still matter. But rushing love isn't healing its a bandage over a gaping wound. It's setting yourself up to be replaced again. You've been through enough pain to know what empty love looks like. You've seen how quickly someone can move on, how easily they can forget. That's not love. Real love is patient. Real love waits for the right moment, the right person, and the right you. This isn't about them anymore. It's about you. It's about trusting your gut when it says, not yet. It's about honoring the growth you've fought so hard for in the wreckage of your heartbreak. You've rebuilt your identity beyond the relationship. You've stopped waiting for closure that will never come. Now, you have to trust yourself to know when love is real, when it's not just words or promises, but actions that prove someone chooses you because they can't imagine losing you. Your heart has been raw. It's been bruised and beaten. But that rawness is your power. It's the proof you survived something that tried to break you. And surviving means you've learned. You've learned what you won't accept. You've learned how to protect yourself. You've learned that your worth isn't measured by someone else's absence. It's measured by how fiercely you hold on to yourself. Stop thinking you have to settle for less just because you're scared of being alone. Stop believing that any love is better than no love. You have to let go of the idea that filling the void with anyone will make you whole. It won't. It will only make you feel emptier when they walk away again. Instead, start trusting your instincts. When someone comes along, listen to what your gut says. Does this person respect your boundaries? Do they show up when it matters? Do they want to know the real you, not just the version you present when you're broken? Do they fear losing you because they see your value? If the answer is yes, then maybe it's time to let your heart open a little. But if the answer is no, then keep protecting yourself. Keep your heart safe. You've grown through this pain. You've rebuilt your identity. You've rewritten your story from being someone discarded and replaced to someone who knows their worth. That knowledge is your shield and your sword. It's what makes your next love possible, because you won't settle. You won't accept less than you deserve. Your next love will come not because you need it to fill a hole, but because you've become the person you deserve. This means embracing patience. It means sitting with your loneliness without panic. It means saying no to quick fixes and yes to healing. It means trusting that your timing is right, even if it feels slow. The waiting isn't weakness. It's strength. It's proof that you're not willing to be anyone's second choice or backup plan. You might worry that if you wait too long, you'll be alone forever. That's a lie your fear tells you. The truth is, being alone with yourself is the most powerful place you can be. It's where you find your real value. It's where you understand that love isn't about someone else's present seats, about your own wholeness. When you trust that, you stop chasing love. You start attracting the right kind of love. Remember, heartbreak gave you a gift. It gave you clarity about what you won't accept. It gave you the courage to set boundaries you never had before. It gave you the chance to stop settling for less and start demanding more. You've learned that love isn't just about being chosen. It's about being chosen fully and fearfully. Someone who fears losing you is someone who truly loves you. So trust yourself. Trust your growth. Trust your gut. Your next love isn't a fantasy or a distant dream. It's waiting for you because you've become the person who deserves it. You've earned that love by standing through the storm and refusing to be broken. This is your moment to stop rushing. Stop filling the void with anything less than what you truly deserve. You are not a placeholder. You are not a fallback. You are the prize, and the right person will see that. They will choose you fully. They will fear losing you. That's love on your terms. Hold on to that truth as you move forward. Let it steady you when the night feels too long and the silence too loud. You have to let go of old patterns and trust the new path you're carving on that leads to real love, real respect, and real connection. You don't need their apology to heal. You don't need their return to move on. You need to trust yourself to love again, on your terms, because this isn't about them anymore. It's about you. You've come this far. You've survived the worst. Now, it's time to stop waiting for someone else to validate your worth. It's time to show up for yourself. And when you do, your next love will find you. Not because you chased it, not because you begged for it, but because you became the person who deserves it. The next step in your journey is about turning all this pain into power. This is your rebirth. You'll learn how to take what broke you and use it to build a stronger, wiser, and more unshakable you. Because heartbreak doesn't have to be the end. It can be your beginning. Chapter 10. Turn your pain into power. This is your rebirth. Heartbreak isn't just pain. It's a breaking open. It's raw, it's brutal, but it's also a gateway. That shattering you feel, it's not the end of your story. It's the beginning of something fierce. You can let it shatter you into pieces, or you can let it remake you stronger than before. The choice is yours, but note this pain is not the enemy. Pain is the fuel. It's the fire that will forge a new you if you let it. You've been through the darkest nights. You've cried tears that felt endless. You've begged for answers that never came. But here's the truth. Heartbreak doesn't break your spirit unless you let it. It breaks your heart, yes, but your spirit. That's where your power waits. Beneath the rubble of all that's lost, there's a strength you haven't met yet. It's waiting for you to dig it out and claim it. Stop thinking about what went wrong. Stop replaying every conversation, every moment, every silence. That's a trap when you've been caught in too long. Use that energy instead. Use it to rewrite your story. Not the story they left you with, but your story. A story where you are brave. A story where you carry wisdom earned in the fires of heartbreak. A story where you love yourself fiercely, without apology or hesitation. This pain you feel, it's a teacher in disguise. It's telling you what you will never accept again, what you will never settle for, what love truly looks like when it's real. You don't need their apology. You don't need their explanation. You don't need them to come back or to fix what's broken between you. This isn't about them anymore, it's about you. It's about the life you build from the ashes of this loss. Now is the time to rise, but not quietly. Rise with rage. Let the fire of your anger burn away the lies you told yourself about being not enough. Let it shake loose the chains of doubt and self-blame. Rage is a part of healing. Don't fear it, harness it. Rage means you care deeply. Rage means you're alive. Rage means you're refusing to be broken by their betrayal. But rise with grace, too. Grace isn't weakness. It's strength in motion. Grace means you carry your pain without letting it define you. Grace means you forgive not for them, but for yourself. Forgive the illusion of forever you believed in. Forgive the parts of yourself that stayed silent. Grace means you step forward, even when every step feels like walking through fire, and rise with relentless hope. Hope is your lifeline. Hope is the whisper in the dark that says, "This is not the end." Your best life is waiting on the other side of this heartbreak. It's waiting beyond the tears, beyond the sleepless nights, beyond the moments when you want to give up. Hope is the promise you make to yourself that you will see the sun again brighter, warmer, and more alive than ever before. You have to let go of the need for closure. Closure is a lie you told yourself because it felt safer. But closure doesn't come from them. It comes from you. From the moment you decide you are enough on your own. From the moment you stop waiting for their call, their message, their return. From the moment you stop holding yourself hostage to what they did or didn't do. Closure is your choice to move forward, not their choice to explain. Rebuild your identity beyond the relationship. You are not the echo of their love or the shadow of their absence. You are your own whole self-lawed, beautiful, worthy. Rediscover who you are without them. What makes you laugh? What stirs your soul? What dreams did you bury when you thought you needed them to be complete? Dig those up. Nourish them. Let them grow wild and free. Stop waiting for them to fill the void they left behind. That void, it's yours to fill. With self-love, with purpose, with passion. Fill it with the things that make your heart beat stronger. Fill it with your goals, your friends, your wildest dreams. Fill it with your own fierce, unbreakable spirit. When you do this, you reclaim your power. You take back what was lost not from them, but from the pain itself. Remember, this isn't about revenge or proving them wrong. That's a dead end. This is about your comeback, your rebirth, your rise. The world hasn't seen your full fire yet. It will, and it will burn brighter than their memory ever did. You owe yourself that much. You owe yourself the chance to live a life that makes you forget what heartbreak ever felt like. Every day you wake up, you get a choice. You can stay in the wreckage, or you can start building again. You can stay stuck in the past, or you can rewrite your future. You can let this pain define you, or you can let it refine you. There's no shame in falling apart. There's only strength in putting yourself back together, piece by piece, with intention and courage. You don't need their permission to heal. You don't need their love to thrive. You don't need their return to find your peace. This journey is yours, and it starts now. Right here, right now. Choose to rise. Choose to fight. Choose to love yourself fiercely, without waiting for someone else to show you how. Your comeback begins with a single step out of the darkness and into your own light. That step might be shaky. It might be slow. It might feel impossible. But it's the step that changes everything. It's the step where you say, I am more than this pain. I am more than their betrayal. I am the author of my own story, and I choose to write a comeback. So rise. Rise with rage, rise with grace, rise with relentless hope. Because your best life is waiting. It's not a maybe. It's not a someday. It's now. It's here. And it's yours for the taking. You have to let go of the past to hold on to your future. Stop waiting for closure. They already showed you who they are. This isn't about them anymore, it's about you. Your healing doesn't depend on their actions. It depends on your courage to rewrite your story. As you step forward, remember the lessons you've learned so far. Remember the heartache you survived. Remember that you are not the void they refused to fill. You are whole. You are enough. And you are ready. The next step in this journey is to close this chapter of your pain fully without looking back. It's time to seal the wounds that you've tended with tears and begin to rebuild with unwavering strength. Closing that door isn't forgetting. It's making space for what's next. Your story isn't over. It's just beginning, and you are ready to rise. You began this journey carrying pieces of yourself you thought were lost forever. You replayed the moments, the mistakes, the goodbyes, all of it. But something shifted. You saw the truth. Their leaving wasn't your fault. It wasn't a reflection of your worth. It was a reflection of their limits. You stopped searching for closure in their silence and started finding peace in your own reflection. You've grieved, you've healed. You've rebuilt yourself from the inside out. This heartbreak didn't break you. It built you. The pain became your teacher. The cracks became your light. So take another step forward, even if it's small. Breathe deep. Choose you again and again. You are not alone. There's power in the pain that tried to undo you, and freedom in the letting go. Keep rising, love. Your story isn't over. It's just beginning.